Welcome back to Daybreak Extra on Trust TV. Well, the show is still rolling on, and right now in the studio we have our very own in-house sports administrator, sports analyst, sports doctor in the studio right here, and we're talking about Adeni Ajishafe.
Administrator and doctor.
Everything.
Anything sports.
Everything and anything sports.
Good to have you.
Yes. So, Toby came second.
Yes, good one. Why a lot of Nigerians are like, why second? I don't know.
Yes, why second? I'm one of those Nigerians.
Yeah,
why second?
Let me explain. Number one, remember what she did over there at the World Athletic Championship in Oregon?
Exactly.
She got gold.
Yes.
At the Commonwealth Games, she got gold.
Breaking all the records.
Expect that she will be tired to some extent. Yes. Camacho Queen did not run at the Commonwealth Games. Good. At the what athletics too. So you can look at the fact that this lady has won two great events. In fact, you know, the biggest. Let me just say the Champions League of Athletics, and also looking at the Commonwealth Games. Now she ran 12.45 just yesterday, and coming behind Camacho Queen, actually came fourth. That's 12.37 seconds. Well, I love the fact that she was able to qualify for the next Diamond League that will be coming up in Zurich. And I love the fact that she came second. Why? For someone that actually won the World Athletics and also the Commonwealth Games, expect that the tiredness, the expectation, the training, and everything. So it's not bad.
To a certain extent, she has actually placed the bar quite high for herself, and everybody has come to expect.
And check something. Look at this. She ran 12.12 seconds at the Commonwealth Games, even though the 12.06 is not standing. She also ran the record that she has set for herself: 12.41. 12.45, 12.12, 12.06 for someone that actually ran about 4 races consecutively. Yes. And aside that, she has run in so many leagues or meets this year that she has really done well. So coming second now is not too a bad thing.
So Nigerians should calm down. Should be
seriously, they should calm down. Zurich Diamond League is still coming up. They'll be running in Zurich, and who knows, maybe she'll be scooping that. So for Toby to come second and ahead of the American who actually came third, you should know that really now she's a force to be reckoned when it comes to hurdles. Exactly. Everyone that wants to run that race against Toby now, they are always like, this lady, world champion,
and they're going to bring
world record holder.
They're going to bring their A game.
You are running after, against world record holder. Even the lady that came first ran 12.37 seconds. Still far-fetched from the race that Toby ran, where she ran 12.12. That record alone has put Toby on that high level that everybody wants to meet up with that record. In fact, let her come seventh. You need to break that record before we know that you are the world champion.
All right, so let's move away slightly from athletics now, and the football season is back. Yeah, and someone has a question.
I just want to know, is there hope for Man U?
No. Let me answer that question.
Right, please, you're not the sports administrator. No, I'm speaking to the sports administrator.
All right, let him tell you then.
You know, there was this joy when Ten Hag came on as coach, but it seems like there's no redemption for that club, honestly. No matter the amount of players they change and the new coach and tactics, they are never going to rise up, you know, to that former standard they used to have. So what is the problem exactly? What is it? What are we doing wrong?
Okay, let me quickly correct an impression. The season just started, and we cannot just begin to write off a team. Sure, they are going through crisis right now, trying to get players here and there, players saying that they are not coming and all that. Like Ibrahim always said that Eddie Ten Hag never knew what was awaiting him before he actually signed that deal. But to be candid, Man United, even though it happens to so many clubs, don't write them off totally. They can still pick up. After all, the last match they played, they were able to turn this around. They lost the first two matches. Right? They lost first two matches against the B teams. I call it the B teams, Brentford, Brighton. But against Liverpool, they came out like, this is the Man U people used to know. And that shows that things can still change. So don't write them off.
But I think people are actually not talking enough about Liverpool this season. I mean, like 3 games in, 2 points. I mean,
2 draws, 1 loss.
Exactly.
I think to some extent, do you know that why people are really majoring on Manchester United and minoring on Liverpool? Let me use that word. did you realize that Liverpool, so far this season, they've actually had 2 draws and 1 loss against Manchester United? The same team that people have been writing off totally have really been able to beat Liverpool.
Yeah,
who
because
sometimes back were champions.
Yeah,
a team that last season they got 2 trophies. A team that every team was actually scared of. But now, Liverpool are struggling.
Exactly.
And the reason why people are not talking is because they were able to get the player they wanted to sign during the transfer window when it just started, and that made them look like, oh, this team, they've gotten the best of the best and they are ready to go. But not knowing what at stake for them, immediately Sadio Mane left. I'm not actually agreeing that particular maybe loss or draw to Sadio Mane's not being around, but it has some effect. Mane leaving has some effect. 1, 2, injury added to it. 3, the players need to get psyched up that, come on, we are Liverpool. Because if you watch the last match against Manchester United, it was obvious that some of the players really were not in that game.
They were not.
And so attention should also go to Liverpool now.
Because
people should be talking about Liverpool too, because they are finding
a lot of people are making noise about Manchester United. Whereas there is I believe there's a crisis brewing.
Serious. That's why I say people are minor. That's why I use the word major and minor.
2 points from 9 is
it's too bad for Liverpool right now.
Salah, their major, like their trophy boy, top player. Yes, the way Man U, we have Ronaldo and still nothing seems to happen for us. So doesn't that still mean that there is hope?
There is still hope for all of them, but it's just very unfair for fans of football not to look at Liverpool not really doing well and always hammering on Manchester United. You have to balance your analysis.
Yeah, but isn't that because there's been a continuous failure from...
Well, if you want to call it failure, but I don't want to see Liverpool's case as failure.
Yeah.
It's just because the players need to get their mentality.
And it's still early days.
It's still early, very early. But really, if you check at times, Liverpool, for what has happened to them now, I'm sure they will pick up. They will. Most of the time, you see teams not picking up at the immediate start of the season, and later they pick up. And you remember that it's always at the second stanza of the EPL that the big boys begin to show their strength. So expect Liverpool
to come back.
Yes, they will come back. But it's just very unfair for people to just totally focus on Man United
and leave Liverpool.
And it's like the shadow of Man United has covered.
Quickly, before I let you go, I would be remiss if I do not talk about Nottingham Forest.
Good one.
Nottingham Forest have spent a ton of money this season.
Course.
They have signed like 16, 17 players. I mean, like...
And they are still looking for more players to buy.
They bought a South Korean, I think, for 5 million, but they're going to loan him back to Olympiacos. So
they got our own Emmanuel.
Exactly.
They're
doing very well. Where is Forest going to end up at the end of the season? I'm going to put you on the spot. I know you don't like being on the spot. Yes, I'm going to put you on the spot right now.
Okay, the question you actually asked me, let me, after all, one poet just left the studio. So Forest will end in the forest.
They are already in the forest.
Oh my goodness.
They are already in the forest.
But seriously, when it comes to football, it's very technical right now because you just can't use 3 matches to say this is where a particular team, even the team at the bottom of the table, let's say maybe West Ham or Wolverhampton or whoever, whichever team, right now, don't write anything off.
Because we've seen it happen with Fulham. When Fulham came up, they spent a ton of money, but they still went down.
They went down.
Exactly.
But right now, I think Nottingham Forest, if they can really put up that particular mentality of, okay, we've got some players, then the player themselves have actually been acquired, like, okay, we are here to turn things around for this club. Let's see how we can, at least, let's get to the middle of the table. If we cannot even get to the top 7, top 8, let's be among the team that we are safe, always safe when it comes to relegation. So, Nottingham Forest, let me say, well, maybe because of the Nigerian factor, Dennis and Awoni, I expect them to be at the mid-table, to do well. I'm not expecting them to actually win the league, but
to do well.
At least be at the mid-table.
I said finally, but something just came to me right now. Newcastle have signed Isak for a ton of money.
A big one.
Do you think he will make the desired impact?
I was actually, let me take it from you. I was telling someone yesterday, yes, I respect the view of Newcastle on Isak, but really, Newcastle need a very strong, energetic striker at the front. Somebody that can break loose and defense will be collapsing for him coming. Isak is very good, but I see him as a slow player.
Exactly.
I see him as somebody that is a bit fragile.
And coming from La Liga.
From La Liga to EPL, and he's your top 9 right now. I hope Newcastle are not doing Andy Carroll style again.
Exactly.
You understand what I'm saying? So for Isak, respect to him is good, but I think they should have make it look like it should be a pair to a very energetic striker, somebody that in the mold of you can look at Aguero style kind of stature, moves and all that. Then Isak can just be like, okay, if this guy is bulldozing the way, and I can easily come in and at least help. But now you are making the fragile, lanky, a bit slow, kind of, although very, very talented,
very
technical, and is very tricky. But you know, EPL is a very fast-paced kind of game. You need somebody who had that particular quality. I've mentioned Aguero, that particular mode of a striker. That's what Newcastle actually need right now.
All right, well, that's absolutely fantastic. The football season is just starting. We'll keep an eye on that, and of course, we have Adeni here to give us all the juicy bits and pieces when it comes to that. Adeni, thank you very much for coming on the show.
Thank you very much for having me.
All right, this is the Break Extra, and that's how we're going to wrap it up on this show this morning. It has been wonderful. We have been here trying to give you nothing but the very best. I think we managed to patch my relationship with Rosemary a little bit. I think we're well on the way to recovery. Well, we do hope that
if you let me
as
sign you
as possible. So I am Ibrahim Yusuf. Thanks for staying with us today.
Thanks for joining us once more on Daybreak Extra on Trust TV. My name is Rosemary Bassi.